Imagine you're running the very last roller rink in Miami-Dade County.
Oh, wow. That is a notoriously tough market.
Right. I mean, you are constantly battling 95-degree heat with like 90% humidity.
Yeah, and the storms.
Exactly. The sudden torrential hurricanes that just flood the streets in minutes. Plus, you are competing against literal world-class beaches and these massive theme parks just a short drive away.
It's basically a perfect storm of challenges for a physical business.
It really is. Most people would look at those conditions and think it's a miracle a brick-and-mortar family business could survive at all, let alone thrive. But today, we're looking at a playbook that shows exactly how a local business survives and absolutely dominates without, like, a Silicon Valley venture capital budget.
Yeah, and it really flips the traditional narrative of business growth completely upside down.
It kind of has to, right?
Right, because we're so conditioned to think that scaling a business requires buying your way into the public consciousness. Like you need this massive brute force national advertising campaign.
Which most local places just can't afford.
Exactly. When you are a local physical business, that blueprint is totally useless. Every single dollar, every single customer has to be earned, measured, and retained through just really strict daily operational discipline.
Which brings us to today's deep dive, and a huge welcome to you joining us. Our mission for you today is incredibly practical. We are diving into excerpts from the Family Fun Center Marketing Playbook, and we're specifically looking at a case study of Miami Roller Rink.
Right, which has been family-owned since 1987, I believe.
Yeah, since 1987. And we're also looking at the agency they worked with, Socially Buzz. We are going to uncover how they built this like year-round revenue machine. So, okay, let's unpack this. They have all these hurdles, right? The extreme weather, the fierce local competition, the fact that family entertainment is highly seasonal.
Right.
How do they even begin to tackle that?
Well, the core philosophy that jumps out of this playbook immediately is really a shift in mindset. They realized that sustainable growth for a local business does not come from chasing, one massive viral promotion on TikTok.
Or like a huge Memorial Day sale or something.
Exactly. True growth comes from keeping every single revenue stream full all year round. It's about building an interconnected system, not relying on a one-off stunt.
But there's a danger here, right? Because before you even build an advertising system, you really have to answer the most basic question, like, why should a family walk through your doors today?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a compelling answer to that, I mean, all the ads in the world won't save you.
Precisely. That's your value proposition. And if the customer doesn't have an immediate, undeniable reason to choose you right in this moment, they're going to stay home, or they'll just go somewhere else.
And this is where their strategy regarding the unpredictable Miami weather is just so brilliant.
Oh, it's so smart.
South Florida is famous for its sweltering heat and those sudden afternoon thunderstorms that completely ruin your plans. Most local businesses view bad weather as a curse.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. It kills foot traffic.
Right. But this playbook leans into the weather aggressively. They market the rink explicitly as an indoor, air-conditioned, rain or shine destination.
What's fascinating here is how they take an external environmental threat, the exact thing that usually destroys a weekend business, and completely reframe it as their most dependable marketing edge.
Right.
They aren't going out there with a generic message saying, hey, roller skating is a fun activity.
Exactly. It's like, imagine you're selling umbrellas in a torrential rainstorm. You aren't standing on the corner pitching the beautiful craftsmanship of the umbrella's canopy, right?
No, or the ergonomic handle.
Yeah, exactly. You are selling the immediate solution to the fact that the person in front of you is getting soaked. Miami Roller Rink is positioning the business as the immediate, stress-free solution to a family's weekend weather crisis.
That's a great way to put it.
The kids are bouncing off the walls. It's 95 degrees outside. The beach is totally out of the question. What do we do?
Right. So the message is beat the heat or, stay cool indoors. They are intercepting a highly specific problem that parents are actively trying to solve in real time.
Yeah.
And structurally, this gives them a massive predictable advantage during those peak summer months and the rainy season, because that's when outdoor entertainment options are completely off the table.
So true.
By framing themselves as the solution to the weather, they become the default reliable choice for the community.
So they have this rock-solid problem-solving message, but how do they actually distribute it without wasting thousands of dollars?
Right, that's a tricky part.
Because as a local business, you can't just go buy a billboard in Times Square.
No, definitely not.
So this brings us to their paid advertising engine. And honestly, reading through this playbook, the sheer discipline of their ad strategy completely blew me away.
Discipline is the absolute perfect word for their approach. They are running always-on campaigns across Meta, Google, and TikTok, but it is highly, highly calculated.
It is not just throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Not at all.
The strictest rule they follow is, and I love this, one value prop per creative. Just one.
So important.
For example, when they run an ad on TikTok, they lead specifically with their proven all-day walk-in skate deal. Why? Because walk-in traffic is the most proven, historically successful revenue source for them on that specific platform.
Right, you play to the platform's strengths.
Exactly. And if you want to know about their memberships, that's relegated to a tiny subheader. It's never the main headline. And here's another detail that seems small but is massive. They are bilingual by default.
Which is absolutely essential in a market like Miami-Dade, which is heavily Hispanic. If you're only running English ads, you're actively ignoring a huge portion of your potential community.
Yeah, you're just leaving money on the table.
Completely. But it's not just about the literal translation of the words, you know? It's about translating the cultural intent.
Yes, the playbook specifically points out that their Spanish ad copy is written in-house by native speakers. They refuse to just dump English copy into a machine translator and swap the text.
Oh, people can spot that a mile away.
Right, and that matters deeply, especially for their birthday party ads, which are a huge, huge revenue driver.
That level of cultural competence builds immediate trust. Think about it. If an ad reads like a clunky robotic translation, it implicitly signals to the customer that they are an afterthought.
Yeah, like we didn't care enough to get this right.
Exactly.
Right.
By writing it in-house with the correct local slang and tone, Miami Roller Rink is signaling to the Hispanic community that they are a primary valued audience.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate for a second here.
Just go for it.
If I'm a local business owner and my margins are incredibly tight, wouldn't it be vastly cheaper and easier to just like design one really nice digital flyer and cram everything into it?
Oh, I see where you're going.
Like, just put the birthday parties, the memberships, the summer camps, and the open skate times all onto one ad to save on production and ad spend.
It's a very common trap that local businesses fall into,
Yeah.
and it almost always fails.
Really? Why?
Well, first, from a psychological standpoint, when you give a consumer 5 different competing choices in a single ad, you create cognitive overload.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The brain gets overwhelmed and they end up choosing nothing. You have to develop simpler, singular pathways. But even beyond human psychology, there is a critical algorithmic reason that the cram-it-all-in strategy fails.
Wait, algorithmic? You mean if I keep tweaking my one ad to promote summer camps today and birthdays tomorrow, I'm actually confusing the platform?
Exactly. The playbook operates on a golden rule. Budget follows ROAS, which is return on ad spend. You have to push the winners.
Right, double down on what works.
Yes. But if you put everything in one ad and someone clicks and buys, you have absolutely no idea which offer actually motivated them.
Oh, was it the camp, the party, the walk-in deal?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because you can't measure the intent, you can't optimize. By keeping campaigns separated by specific audiences, like, say, targeting just parents of young children, or using what's called a lookalike audience.
And for those who might not know, a lookalike audience is essentially giving Meta a list of your best past customers and saying, hey, go find me thousands of other local people whose data profiles look exactly like these people, right?
Spot on. It uses the platform's machine learning to find your ideal demographic.
Yeah.
And by separating the ads out, they can see exactly which specific offer is driving the highest return from those lookalike audiences.
Okay, I see.
And then they pour the budget only into the specific ad that is working.
And they leave those winning ads running permanently. The playbook mentions that evergreen campaigns like Party at the Rink are left on year-round.
And that's the algorithmic secret. If you constantly turn your campaigns off and on or constantly change the creative in a single ad, platforms like Meta and TikTok continually reset their learning phase.
Oh.
Yeah, you literally lose all the optimization data you've already paid for. You have to leave the winning ads on so the algorithm's machine learning gets smarter and smarter about exactly who your ideal customer is.
Okay, so The precision ads do their job. They get a stressed out family out of the heat and through the front doors for an all-day skate. But there's a massive pivot in the playbook right here.
Yeah, a really important one.
Because you have this great beat the heat message. But if you just rely on sweaty families walking in off the street on a Saturday, you're still completely at the mercy of the weather forecast. You can't make payroll on a maybe.
No, definitely not. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, a single walk-in visit is just an introduction. It's a handshake.
Yeah.
If a family fun center only relies on weekend walk-ins, the revenue graph is going to look like a roller coaster. To stabilize the business, you have to transition that customer from a one-off visitor to a pre-booked calendar event.
Right.
The playbook explicitly states the money is in the calendar, not the walk-in.
The money is in the calendar. I
Yeah.
love that. Which brings us to the ultimate recurring revenue engine for a family center, right? Birthday parties.
Oh, yeah.
The Rink's promise here is just marketing perfection. The promise is, you bring the cake, we handle everything else.
It's brilliant because it targets the emotional state of the buyer. What is the #1 pain point for a parent organizing a birthday party for 15 screaming kids?
Oh, stress. Absolutely stress.
Exactly. The cleanup, the entertainment, the logistics. Miami Roller Rink isn't selling roller skating. They are selling the absence of stress.
And they offer tiered packages so families can upgrade based on their budget. You want VIP treatment? Done. You want exclusive ringside seating? Done.
They thought of everything.
They even have a silent disco option, which, by the way, is so clever.
I love that part.
Yeah, instead of blasting music over the whole rink, the kids in the party get wireless headphones playing their own synchronized music. It makes the party feel incredibly exclusive without the rink having to shut down the main floor for other guests.
That's a win-win.
But it's not just birthdays. They lock down the calendar with community fundraisers, specifically targeting schools and PTAs.
And the strategy here is highly deliberate. They go after schools right around the back-to-school period in the fall, because that is exactly when those PTA boards are actively planning their calendar for the entire year. Timing is everything.
Yeah. They offer a menu of options, like a Sabby's Food fundraiser or a community night, but their lead offer, the one they push the hardest, is something called the Fall Fundraiser Pass.
Right.
And they chose this specific pass because it yields the highest financial return with the absolute lowest administrative burden for the PTA.
Explain the mechanism there, because that's the real selling point. Why is the admin burden lower?
Well, think about how a normal school fundraiser works. A PTA mom usually has to collect physical cash, track paper tickets, chase down parents who forgot to pay, and manually balance a spreadsheet.
Sounds like a nightmare.
It is a nightmare. The Rink eliminates all of that friction. They give the PTA a custom digital link. The parents buy the passes online from their phones, the Rink software tracks the data automatically, and at the end of the promotion, the Rink just hands the school a check.
Wow.
Yeah, they sold the PTA on total convenience.
They're making it incredibly easy for the community leaders to say yes by removing all the friction.
And the calendar monetization doesn't stop there. Summer camps are marketed with a specific STEM plus learning call-out. They don't just say, drop your kids off.
Right, they elevate it.
Yeah, they incorporate the physics of roller skating like friction momentum to appeal to parents wanting educational value, not just a babysitter.
That is so smart.
But what about those dreaded slow days? Like, how do you fill a Tuesday afternoon? They bundle admission, arcade tokens, and skate rentals into online-only Beat the Heat deals for Monday through Thursday. Wednesday is adult skate night. Thursday is an all-ages skate.
They are essentially engineering predictability by aggressively monetizing the calendar through parties, camps, and specific nightly themes. They insulate the business.
Right.
They know exactly how much baseline revenue is guaranteed before they even turn the lights on for a Tuesday shift.
Okay, so you've spent money on ads to get them in. You've gotten them onto the calendar for a birthday party. The plumbing is working.
Yep.
Now, how do you get them to come back again without having to pay Meta or Google for another ad?
This is the crucial transition to owned channels, your email list, your SMS list, your organic social media. As the playbook states, your customer list is your cheapest ad because you don't have to bid in an auction to reach them. You already own the connection.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. There is a detail in this playbook about SMS text marketing that is so granular, but it completely changes the economics of their marketing.
Oh, this is fascinating.
They have a strict, non-negotiable rule. Absolutely no emojis in their text message marketing.
It seems completely counterintuitive, right? It's a family fun center.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the text be vibrant and fun, packed with roller skate emojis and fire emojis? Why ban them?
I thought the exact same thing. But it turns out the reason is deeply structural to how cellular networks operate. It comes down to something called character encoding. We're used to regular text, but emojis use a different data standard called Unicode.
Right.
Basically, a single smiley face contains so much hidden data that it forces the cell carrier to drastically reduce your character limit, often chopping your single 160-character message into 2 or even 3 separate texts.
Exactly. So if you are paying 2 cents per text and you send a message to 10,000 people, your bill literally doubles or triples instantly, all because you added a slice of pizza emoji at the end of the sentence.
It's crazy.
It is a perfect example of truly understanding the hidden mechanics of your medium.
And their restraint with SMS in general is incredible. They cap text messages at 1 to 2 texts per event. The playbook notes that if you send 3 or more texts, the unsubscribe rate measurably spikes. You literally burn your own list.
Nobody wants a spammy business on their phone.
Right. They treat SMS like an emergency broadcast system for good deals. They mentioned one specific, perfectly timed parents' night out text. They sent just one text to the list, and it drove a massive standout wave of bookings because the audience wasn't fatigued.
Because they treat the SMS list with deep respect. It's reserved for highly relevant, time-sensitive offers. But while SMS is the loud, immediate alert, email is what they call the quiet revenue engine.
Yes, the automated lifecycle emails. When someone signs up, they automatically get a welcome to membership sequence. There are win-back campaigns for people who haven't visited in 6 months.
Right.
But the most revealing story in the entire playbook is about their creative and data engine, and it involves a broken automation.
This is such a critical lesson for any business. The marketing team was doing a routine quarterly performance audit, and they discovered that an automated birthday email sequence, which is supposed to send a coupon to a customer 2 weeks before their birthday, was silently matching 0 contacts.
Just sending out nothing. How does that even happen?
Well, it was a simple background configuration error. A software update had slightly changed the mapping of a custom field, so the email software was no longer able to read the date of birth data from the customer database.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the system thought it was running perfectly, but it was just firing blanks. The team went in, found this tiny data mismatch, fixed this one totally unglamorous tech glitch, and instantly recovered a dead booking stream.
They just turned the money faucet back on. And it's wild because it highlights the psychology of business owners. We all want to focus on the shiny new TikTok ad or the cool new graphic design, but we completely ignore the plumbing.
Exactly. If the pipes are broken in the walls, it doesn't matter how expensive the sink looks, you aren't getting any water.
That's a great way to look at it.
It highlights a massive rule from the playbook. If you cannot measure the booking, you are guessing. They evaluate their performance based on what actually drives bottom-line bookings, not vanity metrics like how many likes an Instagram post received.
Right.
The visible marketing only works because they do the unglamorous work of attribution, tracking, and fixing broken links.
But you know, even with perfect plumbing, highly optimized ads, fully booked calendars, and flawless emails, if the actual physical experience of going to the rink gets stale, the whole system eventually collapses. People will just get bored.
Which is why the final, non-negotiable pillar of their strategy is community integration. The product itself, like the physical space, has to constantly evolve.
The playbook actually mandates this. It explicitly says a family fun center should never be the same place twice. And they accomplish this through a wild variety of fresh, rotating programming.
They really mix it up.
They do. They do local food truck partnerships. They host 90s R&B adults-only late-night sessions. They do cultural and heritage-themed skates, charity nights, pop culture events.
They are actively segmenting their own physical real estate to appeal to entirely different audiences on different days.
It reminds me of how a television network operates. A TV network dynamically changes its programming lineup throughout the day to capture completely different demographics without changing the channel itself.
Right.
You have cartoons for toddlers in the morning, soap operas in the afternoon, and edgy late-night talk shows for adults.
Yeah.
Miami Roller Rink is doing the exact same thing, but they're doing it with a wooden floor and some polyurethane wheels.
That's a fantastic analogy. An adult-only R&B night uses completely different creative in their ads, plays completely different music, and reaches a totally different market segment than a Saturday morning family skate.
Yeah, it's a completely different vibe.
But they went even further with this idea through their sensory-friendly skating events.
Yes, I loved this detail. They actually partnered with a local university autism center to design and promote sensory-friendly programming, and they physically changed the environment.
That takes real commitment.
It does. They lowered the music significantly, they turned off the strobes and adjusted the ambient lighting, and they created quiet zones off the rink for families who otherwise would never be able to attend a loud, chaotic, flashing roller rink.
Wow.
It completely expands who can view the rink as an experience designed specifically for them.
This raises an important question, though. How does this constant rotation of physical events affect their digital presence? Specifically, their organic social media.
Well, it essentially solves the biggest, most exhausting headache of social media management. Staring at a blank screen wondering, what do we post today?
Exactly.
Ew.
These physical events constantly feed the digital content calendar. They aren't just posting boring graphics that say, come skate with us today.
Right.
Every new themed event, every charity night, every adult skate provides fresh stories, fresh visuals, and real human faces having fun. They take photos of the sensory-friendly night and share them in local community Facebook groups where the parents actually hang out. They film TikToks of the 90s R&B night with adults showing off